So, hello everyone, I welcome you all to our channel Regalia, and our today's topic is on reproduction in fungi. In this chapter, we will cover the various forms of reproduction which is found in fungi like asexual, sexual, parasexual, as well as we will see various types of fruiting body like ascocarp and basidiocarps. We will study about them in detail in this chapter itself. Let's begin the video. Now, as you can see here, I have distributed reproduction into three categories. First is asexual, okay, second is sexual, and the third is parasexual. When we talk about the asexual reproduction, the basic difference, what is the basic difference between asexual and sexual reproduction? So in both the asexual and sexual, gametes are formed, okay, gametes are formed. Gametes are formed in both asexual as well as sexual, but the major difference is fusion. In sexual reproduction, fusion takes place, while in asexual reproduction, fusion is usually absent. Okay. Now, there is a new type of reproduction, parasexual reproduction, and you might not have heard about this reproduction before. So we'll see in detail what is it actually. But this parasexual reproduction will be covered in depth in the upcoming chapters. So here we will just take a glance. Now, parasexual reproduction is discovered by Pontecorvo and Roper in Aspergillus nudulans. So, Aspergillus nudulans is a fungus, and in this fungus, Pontecorvo and Roper discovered this reproduction. Now, first we will see this figure. Now, in this figure, as you can see, there are homokaryons. Okay, means they are haploid stage. Now, in the first stage, what happens is cytoplasmic fusions. The cytoplasm of both these hypha will fuse, and it will form a mixed haploid nucleus. Okay, this is a condition. This condition is called as a mixed haploid nucleus condition. Okay, in each cell you can find two types of different haploids. So they are called heterokaryons. Now these heterokaryons fuse. Not all, but some will fuse, and they will lead to the formation of a heterozygous diploid. Okay, this is a heterozygous diploid because it is shown in black and white. It clearly indicates that there are two different types of genotype present in it. Okay, after this heterozygous diploid undergoes mitosis, and the peculiar feature of this type of reproduction is mitotic crossing over. Okay, crossing over which is found in the somatic cells. So what happens is, here you can see it is written parental and recombinant genotype. So from where is the recombinant genotype coming? The recombinant genotype is coming from this particular cell itself. The heterozygous diploids formed had undergone recombination amongst themselves and have formed the recombinant type. Now after this, it's the restoration of haploid. Okay, next stage is the restoration of haploid stage. So I hope this diagram is clear to you. If you have any doubt related to this diagram or what we are going to study in this chapter, you can tell me in the comment section. Now we will see the events of, there are certain events like first is events of the sexual reproduction is involved in somatic cell. I have already told you about the mitotic crossing over. Second is the genetic recombination via mitotic crossing over. So the second line explains the first line. Found in deuteromycetes or imperfect fungi. Deuteromycota are imperfect fungi. This deuteromycetes, ascomycetes, this part will be covered later in the classification section. But for now, just learn that it is found in deuteromycetes. Now we'll see about asexual reproduction. What is actually asexual reproduction? So asexual reproduction in fungi is of various forms like fragmentation. You might have studied fragmentation. The body is divided into various, like if it's a body, it is divided into various kinds of fragments. Okay, so these are the fragments. Budding. In budding, what happens is like a parent body. It's a parent body, and the progeny is attached to the parent body. The progeny grows for some times, and when it has attained a particular size, it gets detached from the mother plant. It's from the mother body. Then is fission. Fission is a proper It's a kind of a reproduction, asexual reproduction, so in which the DNA multiplies and as well as the cell also undergoes multiplication, fission. Now chlamydospores. Chlamydospores are resting kind of spores. We will see in the upcoming part. Arthrospore are similar to chlamydospore. These are survival spores. Sporangiospores and conidia are again survival as well as they are used for reproduction purpose. Now there are some main forms of asexual reproduction. Like first is fission. So fission, it is found in bacteria, okay, mostly, but also it is seen in yeast. So it can be asked in the examination that name a eukaryote in which fission is present. Answer is yeast. Chlamydospore. Chlamydospore are thick-walled, resistant, non-detached from the hyphae. Okay, chlamydospore are thick-walled, they are resistant, and they are non-detached from the hyphae. So, like for example, it's a hyphae, and a chlamydospore is formed over here. So this, it will not separate from the hyphae. It will formed inside the hyphae itself. Arthrospores. Arthrospores are the cells of hyphae which detach and separate basipetally. Okay, so basipetal and acropetal arrangement I have told you in the I think in the breeding class. So you can check the lecture there and you will find, okay, what is basipetal and what is acropetal. I've told you earlier. Now sporangiospore and conidia. So sporangiospore and conidia is also a form. Now we will see this figure of asexual reproduction. Let me zoom it for you. So asexual reproduction, this is a chlamydospore I was talking about. Chlamydospore found within the hypha, and this is the terminal chlamydospore. Okay, so there are two types of chlamydospore. One found within the hyphas, and second is formed at the terminal stage. This is arthrospore. Spore, it gets detached from the parent body. It's a arthrospore. So I think you might have understood the basic difference. Now sporangiospore and conidia. Sporangiospore, it is formed endogenously inside a sporangia. So here is a sporangia and here are small spores. Okay, it's just a representative diagram for you to understand the basics. So it's a sporangiospore, these are sporangiospores, and it is a sporangium or a sporangia, you can say. Conidia. Conidia formed exogenously on conidiophore. For example, it's a conidiophore. So conidia are formed like this. It may be in chain or it may be in groups like this. It depends on the species or the organisms in which it is found. Okay, so the basic difference is sporangiospores are contained within a body while conidia are not. Sporangiospores are of two types. These are aplanospores and zoospores. So aplanospores are non-motile. Okay, aplanospores are non-motile while zoospores are motile. Because why are zoospores motile? Because they are flagellated. Okay, and they are produced by aquatic fungi. Usually aquatic fungi can only survive if they can swim. Okay, so for the purpose of swimming they have developed flagella, and because they have flagella, so they are motile. It's simple. Now in aplanospore they are non-motile and it is produced by terrestrial fungi. Because terrestrial fungi live on land, they do not need to swim, and for locomotion also they do not need, they don't need any organ. So they have not developed any kind of flagella for that. Now what is a sporangiophore? Sporangiophore is a stalk. Okay, it's a stalk on which sporangia are born. Branched sporangiophore is found in downy mildew. So what is a branched sporangiophore? Like this is a normal sporangiophore. Okay, it's a kind of stalk, a normal sporangiophore, but a branched sporangiophore is something like this. It has branchings. It's a branched sporangiophore. So branched sporangiophore is found in downy mildew. It's a peculiar feature of downy mildew. Flagella. Now talking about flagella, we all know, see, fungi is a eukaryotic organism. Okay, it's very clear. So we have studied in the cell chapter, in the cell genetics chapter, I have told you that in the flagella of eukaryotes 9+2 structure is found. Okay, so So in eukaryotes, we know that 9 plus 2 flagella is found, and fungi is also eukaryote. So you can say 9 plus 2 structure similar to eukaryotic organism. Central fibrils are attached to blepharoplast. Blepharoplast is a basal body. Blepharoplast is a basal body to which the central fibrils, like for example, it's a basal body, and this is the central flagella which is attached. Thread-like structures called rhizoplast connects the blepharoplast with nucleus. So it's a nucleus, and these are rhizoplast. So rhizoplast basically connect the nucleus with the basal body. Rhizoplast. Now we come out to flagella. Flagella is of basically two types: whiplash flagella, we all know, and tinsel. Now whiplash. Have you seen a whip? A whip which was used by, it was used to punish people's whip. So a whip is smooth in texture. Okay. Similarly, these flagella, the tail of these flagella or these flagella, they lack hairs on it. They are not rough. They are smooth. Hence the name whiplash. And tinsel is opposite. Tinsel have hair-like structures which are popularly known as mastigonems. Okay. And a tinsel flagella is found only in Straminophyla kingdom. I know you might not understand this classification right now, kingdom division and all, but this will be covered in the classification chapter. So for now, just learn that tinsel flagella is found only in Straminophyla kingdom. Okay. Conidiospore. Conidiospores, I've told you earlier, conidia are exogenously born on a conidiophore or on a stalk. So conidiospores, there are various types of conidiospores based on shape. You will see various types of shape. And first is the unicellular spore. So unicellular spores are also known as amerospores. Okay, it's a one word for unicellular spores, amerospores. And examples are coletotrichum, Spheropsis, and Phoma. Okay, now these are these are some genus which you will study when you will study the pathology syllabus, or when you will study the pathology course. You will come across these organisms, and especially the disease part. When you study the disease part in your classes, so you will see like these organisms like coletotrichum, fulcatum, and many other Phoma. So these organisms will cross you. So you will see, you can learn there. Now coletotrichum, Spheropsis, and Phoma are unicellular spores. They have unicellular spores called amerospores. Now bicellular conidiospores. Bicellular conidiospores are also known as didymospores. Okay, the word di stands for two, so didymospores. Microconidia of Fusarium. Fusarium has three kinds of spores: a macrospore, microspore, and a chlamydospore. So the microspore of Fusarium has a bicellular structure like this. Okay, two types of cells are formed. Then we come across multicellular types of spores, not phragmospores. Okay, fragments, now if there's a spore and there are various types of fragments in it, we will call it a multicellular spore similarly, and hence the name phragmospore. Example, Cercospora, okay, and Pestalutopsis. Cercospora and Pestalutopsis. Now multicellular divided into transverse and longitudinal. It's something like this. Transverse and longitudinal. Okay. Called dictyospores. Dictyospores is found in Alternaria. This type of spore is found in Alternaria. If you have seen in the under a microscope, so you will find this kind of structure in Alternaria. Sexual reproduction. To summarize the sexual reproduction, we can say the first stage is plasmogamy, then comes karyogamy, and ultimately comes meiosis. So plasmogamy, karyogamy, and meiosis. Now we will see the various forms of sexual reproduction, and this forms a very important part. Questions come in various entrance examinations like JRF, be it BHU, or be it any kind of state examination. So kindly pay attention to this classification. Now, first is the planogametic copulation. Okay, means copulation of gametes in one plane. So the first example is isogamy. The word indicates similar looking gametes. Okay, similar looking gametes when fuse like these are two similar looking gametes. Okay, so when they will fuse, then that will call isogamy. Syncytium. Examples are very important. Anisogamy, different looking, like this is this shape and this shape. They are different looking. Anisogamy. Blastocladiales. Okay, blastocladial is an example of anisogamy. Oogamy or heterogamy. So here is a female which is non-motile, and sorry, the diagram should be like this. Okay, so the non-motile female and a motile male. For example, this is a motile male. So they both fuse together, and that condition is called oogamy. It is found in monoblepharodomyces. Monoblepharodomyces. This condition is found in monoblepharodomyces. So isogamy Syncytium, anisogamy blastocladiales, and oogamy monoblepharodomyces. Second is the gametangial contact. Gametangial contact where the male nuclei, yani the antheridium, okay, male nuclei enters the female gamete, oogonium, via fertilization tube. You can see this fertilization tube, and it carries the, this is the male gamete, this is the female egg. Example, Pythium, Phytophthora and Albugo. Pythium, Phytophthora and Albugo. Then comes the gametangial copulation. In the gametangial copulation, as you can see in this diagram, these are two gametangia. Okay, these are two gametangia, and their entire content gets fused. There is no kind of any sexual any fertilization tube, and no differentiation between male and female. These two gametangia fusing, and it leads to the formation of either a zygospore and or either a oospore. So when is a zygospore formed and when is a oospore formed? Zygospore is formed when similar gametangia, like gametangia are described by plus and minus. If plus strain and plus strain, or minus strain and minus strain, when these two strains will combine with each other, it will form a zygospore. And in case of oospore, if a plus and minus strain combines, or a minus or plus strain will combine, will form a oospore. Examples are Mucor, Rhizopus. Okay, the examples are very important. I'm straining again and again on this thing, and questions come based on these types of examples. So Pythium, Phytophthora albugo, Mucor, Rhizopus and Phycomyces. Okay, it's an example of gametangial copulation. So the basic difference between contact and copulation is, in contact a fertilization tube is formed, and in copulation no such tube is formed. Then spermatization and somatogamy. Now spermatization and somatogamy. What is spermatization? Spermatia formed on spermatiophore, which is further formed in spermogonium. Now here is a spermatia. Spermatia is a male part, okay, which is formed on a spermatiophore, and this complete structure is formed on spermogonium. So I think you might have understood what this statement meant. Spermatia now migrate to the receptive hyphae or trichogyne. The receptive hyphae, this is the trichogyne. Okay, this is the trichogyne part. These are small spermatia, and spermatia fuses to this receptive hyphae. Found in ascomycetes and basidiomycetes. Okay, examples are asco and basidio. Now somatogamy. What happens in somatogamy is that the somatic cells, they act as gametangia. Okay, somatic cells that are responsible for the growth of the organism and are not involved in sexual reproduction. So these cells act now as gametangia, means these cells take part in sexual reproduction, and they follow homo and heterothalism. Okay, thalai means body and homo means similar body, similar strains body, like I told you, plus strain, minus strain, similar to that only. Fusion of hyphae or anastomosis is seen. Anastomosis means hyphal fusion. Like here you can see hypha of opposite mating type, plus strain, minus strain. So these strain gets combined. Okay, these strain gets combined, opposite mating strain, and it is then called as somatogamy. Now higher members of Basidio and ascomycetes. So as we move from the lower order to the higher order, a trend that you might have noticed, that as we move from lower order to a higher order, there is a simplification in reproduction. Okay, and it happens because the organism tries to save its energy in order to use it for other survival purposes. And in order to save its energy, it tries to minimize the complexity in reproduction. Now, asexual fruiting body. So, asexual fruiting body are like cinema or coremium, sporodochium. Okay, cinema or coremium, sporodochium, pycnidium, acervulus. Okay, so these are the four fruiting bodies we will study. They are asexual, means they are not involved in sexual reproduction. Now, cinema or coremium are a group of conidiophores, which are united at base. So they are a group of conidiophore which are united at the base and part at the top. So they form a bunch-like structure at the base. This is a structure. You can see this is a bunch-like structure, and they start to part away as they move to the top. Now examples are Penicillium claviformis. Okay, Penicillium claviformis, Ceratocystis almi, Arthrobotrium, and Graphium. We have to learn these examples. Sporodochium. And what happens is sporodochium is a conidiophore arise from the central cushion. This is the central cushion. And conidiophores arise from this cushion itself. This type of a reproduction, also known as sporodochium, is peculiar to Fusarium. This question is asked in the examination, that name a type of asexual reproduction which is found in Fusarium species. Example, Epicoccum and Nectaria. Now, Pycnidium, globose flask-shaped body with conidiophore, globose flask-shaped with conidiophore lying inwards. Now you can see these are the small, long conidiophores which line the internal part, and it also has a ostiole in it. Septoria, Phoma, Escocyta, Leptosphaera, Macrophomina, Fasciolina, Botriodiplodia. So these are the examples, you have to learn them. Acervulus. Acervulus is flat or saucer-shaped mass. Of aggregated hypha bearing short conidiophore. So these are the hypha, and these hypha have short conidiophores like this arranged. Okay, now example is Coleotrichum, very famous example. I mean, all the diseases of Coleotrichum will have acervulus with it. And Pestalotia. Now, sexual fruiting body. Sexual fruiting body is divided into various parts like pycnium or spermogonium. It is similar to pycnidium. Spermogonium, similar to pycnidium, but it is formed in the sexual cycle of rust fungi. Okay, because it is a sexual fruiting body, it is found in the sexual cycle of rust fungi. Pycniospores empties its contents in the receptive hyphae. Now, this is a pycniospore. In this structure, it's a pycniospore, and these are hyphae, flexus hyphae, and pycniospore empties its contents in these hyphae. Now, Acium. What is Acium? Cup-like structure formed in the lower epidermis. So, peculiar feature, lower epidermis. Now, Aciospore is formed in Acium. The structure, ruptured lower epidermis, it is mentioned, ruptured lower epidermis. It's a peridium or the outer epidermis, and these are host cells on which aciospores are born. Okay, now examples of aciospores are the rust fungi. Now, pycniospores, Puccina graminis triticime, formed in the Puccina graminis triticime in the alternate host Barbary. Okay, so it is asked in the examination, alternate host Barbary. Now, ascocarp. Word ascocarp, you might understand ascocarp, contains asci that in turn contain ascospores. So one ascus contains 8 ascospores. It is a general term. I mean, it's a general estimation, and it is not compulsory that 8 is only found. Okay, it might be more and it might be less. So this is the structure of a ascocarp. You can see an ostiole is present, periphysis, hair-like structure, peridium. Paraphysis are the sterile hairs. Periphysis, not paraphysis, are sterile hairs. Okay, this is a ascus, and these are ascospores present in it. Now, ascomycetes is the example, very clear. It might be very clear to you. Now, basidiocarp. Basidiocarp contains basidia and basidiospores, similar to ascocarp. Means not the structure but the terms. Basidia born on the undersurface of fruiting body. So Basidia is born on the undersurface of the fruiting body, and Basidia bears spores on sterigmata exogenously. So what is a sterigmata? We will see in this diagram. This is a sterigmata. This is a sterigmata. Sterigmata. This is a sterigmata, and this is a fungi. Actually, Basidia are nothing. Basidia are fungus, and in this fungus, the lower part contains a hymenium which bears basidiospores. So as you can see, this cross section has been brought about here. This is the basidium. Basidium has a sterigmata which bears basidiospores. Okay. Now, basidia is formed in defined layer called hymenium. Basidia is formed in defined layer called hymenium. It is very much clear in the diagram. So I must request you that when you will study this literature, kindly also look into various figures or diagram which will make your concepts more clear. So Basidia formed in defined layer called hymenium. Basidiomycetes except, so it is found in basidiomycetes but not in rust and smut. Okay. So basidiocarp is not found in rust and smuts. Ascocarp. Ascocarp, we will study ascocarp in detail because questions usually arise from this section also, like various types of ascocarp are found. First is Cleistothecia, Perithecia, Apothecia and Pseudothecia, and then we'll end the chapter. Now, Cleistothecia are rounded structures, they have no ostiole and are found in urotole and erysipelas. Erysipelas is powdery mildew. Hymenium layer is also absent, and microsphaera and uncinula. See, examples are important as well as the figure is also important. Microsphaera and uncinula. Now, in the perithecia, you can see ostiole is present. Okay, it has a neck. It has inner wall, middle layer, asci, paraphyseal hairs. So everything is present in it. Ostiole present. Asci intermingled with paraphysis on sterile hair or the sterile hairs. Found in claviceps, cordyceps, nectaria, hypocrea, rosalina. These are the examples in which you can see ascomycetes. Sorry, on which you can see the perithecia. Okay, claviceps, cordyceps, nectaria, hypocrea. Now apothecia, open ascocarp, apothecia is cup-like structure, open ascocarp, club-shaped asci. Okay, club-shaped asci. Pyronema, Ascobolus, Peziza and Sclerotinia. Pyronema, Ascobolus, Peziza and Sclerotinia. Peziza, this question comes that mention the type of the fruiting body found in Peziza. So Peziza is important. Now Pseudothecium. Pseudothecium are flask-shaped ascocarp which resembles the perithecia. Okay, and SI are bitunicate and are not regularly organized in the hymenium. So how are SI? SI are bitunicate. Bitunicate means bilayered. There are two types of layer in SI and are not regularly organized in the hymenium. Examples are Cochleobolus, Ophiobolus and Pleospora. So examples are important: Cochleobolus, Ophiobolus and Pleospora. So the basic difference is it is similar to perithecia, but the SI are bitunicate, means SI are double layered and are not regularly organized in the hymenium. So with this we will end this chapter. If you like this video, kindly give a thumbs up, and for more content stay tuned to this channel. Thank you guys, and we will meet in the next video.